Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Next up on the channel, we've got a band called Union Thugs. They've got a track for us called Partisan. And this is another oi punk band that we got on the channel. Sent the word out and we've got a few requests from these kind of bands. And these guys like to mix in with a bit of folk. So that should be interesting. We'll see what that sounds like. I've heard a couple of tracks like this in the past, kind of folk punk. It's an interesting vibe. I must admit, it's not something I'm very much into, but it's always interesting to hear kind of different genres of music spliced together and see what comes out of it. So we'll see what these guys have got, get them up nice and loud, and let's hear this one. All right, straight in with the folk vibe. On an accordion as well. They all look like a bunch of punk rockers. It's a nice sound. Everything's recorded well. Cool. Yeah, nice. I like all of that kind of crowd singing. That's pretty cool. He's got a good voice. That sounds like it's in French. I think these guys are from Montreal. Yeah, it's got a power behind it. When they're all kind of crowd singing, there's a definite power and a punkness. The guy sounds punk. It is a nice mix of punk and folk. I'd say it's mostly folk, but it's punky folk, which is cool. It's got a very nice sound. It's well recorded. There's lots of elements in this band, as you can see, but they've all been recorded well and nicely balanced in the mix. All sounds good together. Good energy. It's got that folk energy, folk music is high energy. It's normally for drunk people is what I've experienced. People in a pub, drunk out their minds, just singing along and having a laugh. Yeah, it's all balanced very nicely in the mix. They've mixed the accordion in nicely, because accordion... Oh, I think we lost some volume there, sorry about that. The accordion, the tone of an accordion can cut through pretty much anything. It's just got that kind of cut-through tone. Not that I've done a lot of mixing with accordion, but just from what I know is that accordions will cut through the mix on pretty much everything. What I have noticed is that they've had to tone down the volume of the accordion because of that. Because otherwise, I live in Portugal, a lot of Portuguese music, traditional Portuguese music is all accordion stuff. And you might have accordion with a classical guitar and then a drummer with just like a hi-hat and a snare or something like that. And quite often it's the accordion that just really overpowers the guitar and the drums. and kind of it just becomes accordion music at that point. So, and you know, accordions are loud as well. They're just naturally loud instruments. So in this mix, they did a very nice job of toning that down a bit, making sure that it wasn't too prominent in the mix, because every instrument in this mix, and we had a whole bunch of instruments, were all very nicely balanced. They all kind of had their level just at the right point, so they weren't overpowering each other, and it wasn't just kind of accordion folk music with a bit of someone else in the background that you can't quite hear, which sometimes happens. So yeah, very good mix is the point I'm trying to get to in a long-winded way, because it's difficult to mix accordion. That was my point there. Anyway, let's see some information about these guys. Let's see, they got a Bandcamp for us. Now, all their stuff is in French. I know people from Montreal and stuff like to keep everything in French and stuff. They're not too keen on speaking English. That's fine, I've got no problem with that, but as a result, I can't really read too much of their information. It looks like they started out in 2017, if I'm trying to decipher what's going on here. I did a bit of French at school, but not enough to get by. But they've got a track on here. It's a Name Your Price track. And let's see, it's a 4.5 minute track, so it's pretty good listen. Name Your Price, pick it up for free. We'll see, I think they've got an album on here from 2018. Oh, this is a demo. There you go. They've got a 4-track demo as well. Again, that's a Name Your Price. So if you want to pick it up for free, but it does say suggested price $5, so pretty cool. What you find is a lot of these bands kind of are doing things with their money. So that if you're giving the money to the band, it's not necessarily all going to the band. It can be going to various causes and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. I have also got a Facebook page where it does say they're folk, oi, rock, pub. As I said, if that's pubs in a public house, bands like these, in my experience, which isn't a lot of experience, as I say, this isn't my genre. I'm not super up on this kind of stuff. I just know a bit of the history of Oi because I'm from the UK, and I'm very much into punk. But when it comes to folk and stuff like that, it's just not really my cup of tea. But I like what they did with this. I certainly like this track. The way that they mixed the punk and the folk in this track was very smooth, very nice, worked well together with the shouty kind of group vocal. Yeah, it was heavy as well. It was, it was certainly mostly folk, but put vocals like that over pretty much any piece of music, put it over, a piece of classical music, and suddenly start to sound a bit more heavy and a bit more punk rock. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm just seeing, it says they started in 2017 on here, so they've been going a few years, which is pretty nice. And they're into Dropkick Murphys and all that kind of stuff. These kind of bands are just a big community. I think I said in the other band, the Backbreaker video, this is a lifestyle choice. Guys that get this deep into punk, oi punk, folk punk, all of the kind of extreme punk stuff, they're doing that not out of choice. They're not like, oh, I like this music, so I'll just listen to it a bit. They're punk rockers, they're into it, it's a lifestyle for them, and the music is just, something that comes out of that lifestyle. So yeah, the real deal by the looks of things. Pretty cool. So yeah, good band, enjoyable band, not necessarily my mainstay of music, but very, very enjoyable. You could get straight into it off the bat. And as I say, I really like what they did with the vocal, with the group singing. Very cool. Thanks for watching the vid, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you around. Bye.